Korang pernah tak terfikir, apakah kos satu fight event dekat Malaysia? Jom kita breakdown. Sebelum kita dapatkan tahu berapa kos satu fight event dekat Malaysia, first things first, kita kena faham sikit dengan event-event yang besar dekat luar negara. Pertama sekali, kita boleh fikir pasal One Championship atau UFC. Biasanya, kalau kita cakap pasal event besar ni, One Championship atau UFC, kos boleh sampai atau cecah $2 million untuk satu event. At least untuk One Championship. Kalau untuk UFC, kita kena tahu kalau event tu fight night atau pay-per-view. Biasanya pay-per-view event akan cecah 10 million USD. Tapi guys, apakah kos pertama yang paling besar sebenarnya kalau nak buat fight event? First cost will always be the venue. Tempat dia orang buat event tu. So, kena ikut lah. Kalau kita fikir pasal event yang besar luar negara, tengok pasal stadium, boleh jadi 1 million atau mungkin 500,000 USD atau 200, ikut kepada tempat. Tapi venue adalah kos yang pertama. Tak ada venue, maksudnya tak ada event. Kalau kita lihat kat Malaysia, venue mungkin as low as for free sebab ada some venue spaces boleh bagi sponsor, or all the way up, if we're talking about Axiata Arena, mungkin sampai ke RM600,000. So, kena ikut kos untuk venue. Kalau kita cakap pasal some of the smaller arenas macam ZEP KL, maybe ZEP KL mungkin 100,000 like that atau 175,000 if I'm not wrong. Tapi you guys can do your research and find out. But venue is the first cost. Memang venue adalah kos pertama untuk satu organizer fikir confirmkan event. Selain daripada venue, the next cost will be production. Satu event mungkin ada production, maybe some events tak ada production. Kena ikut budget lah kan. Sebab kat Malaysia ada banyak fight event. Daripada small ones, dia orang boleh buat dekat mall atau they go to like somewhere a bit more public. Those events with less budget, biasanya you won't see any much production. Apakah cost dalam production? We can break it down. Nombor satu is the sound and lights. This is the most basic untuk satu organizer fikirkan cost sebelum nak adakan satu event. Sound and light kena ikut spec, nak speaker, nak cover dekat satu arena tu. Buat kat mall mungkin tak payahlah extra sound system tu sebab biasanya mall boleh guna mall punya speakers. Tapi kalau kita cakap pasal day one atau buat dekat stadium, harus kena tengoklah quotation daripada event companies out there yang jual services dia orang. Now lighting, ada berapa banyak set untuk lighting packages that all these event companies yang boleh bagi. So daripada kecil atau small budget ke high budget. High budget kita boleh tengok dekat event-event macam Beyond, macam dekat E5. These are high budget sound and light. Usually ranging cost between 100 to 600k. Can go up to 600. You will be surprised. But it's a lot of money to make these kind of events. So this is something I nak share dengan all of you. Sebab kita semua kalau kita tengok fight event, kita tak terfikir pun pasal benda-benda ni. But actually it does add to the cost of making a fight event. Sound and light sendiri can go between RM5,000 all the way up to $600,000. If you nak compare dengan event luar negara, it could, like for the UFC is the biggest one, sound and light itself, mungkin boleh sampai ke 2 million USD. Mungkin. Sebab the setup for the UFC is much more grand than any setup that we can ever see here in Malaysia. Sound and light adalah satu part daripada production. Times, these event companies, sound and light, mungkin termasuk dengan LED. LED itu biasanya that's the biggest of the cost lah kan. Depends. Kalau you nak satu LED macam tu, mungkin I think yang paling murah pun you can get 10,000. Itu pun tak sebesar sangat, tapi itu satu LED saja. Kalau nak buatkan cantik, usually akan sampailah 100,000 lah, 200,000 lah, tapi dia akan bundle up sekali lah. Satu quotation daripada all these event company, terikut kepada budget organizer. Tapi in reality, these are the type of costs that organizers have to deal with sebelum buat satu event. Now, the next part about production is multi-camera production. So this one also ada banyak company yang buat multi-camera production. Southpaw, we do it as well. So if anybody wants to look for our services, kita memang buat service untuk multi-camera production from 1 camera all the way up to 6 cameras. So what are the costs for multi-camera production? Now multi-camera production also cost dia boleh either between RM2,000 all the way up to RM100,000. And what is the difference that you guys are getting? Basically apa-apa yang under 10,000 lah. Under 10,000, which is what Southpaw do. Depends how many cameras you order from us, kita akan bagilah. Ada basic spec cameras yang kita recommend untuk YouTube dengan Facebook live streaming. So biasanya any organizer that spend under 10,000, under 5,000 is usually catered untuk Facebook and YouTube. Kalau organizer tu ada plan nak jual diorang punya production, diorang punya produk, diorang punya event dekat luar negara atau nak jual ke TV, nak jual ke media prima, nak jual ke Astro, diorang kena tengok dekat multicam production yang spec diorang boleh ikut standard broadcast. That one, the cost paling murah pun yang I pernah nampak, I think it's around 60,000. Paling mahal, I think this one will be like a full TV broadcast, could go up to 200,000. Terpulang kepada vendor yang bagi quotation atau invoice untuk multi-camera production. And kalau you bayar 100,000, 200,000, you can expect high spec cameras, FX6, mungkin 8 biji FX6 datang dengan full body gimbal stabilizer. And then you can expect a Mavic untuk drone, atau you can expect Jimmy Jig yang benda yang panjang tu dengan kamera, lepas tu dia pusing satu stadium tu, that's a Jimmy Jig. Rental for that pun paling murah is 20,000. So it depends on the budget of the organizer, tapi ranging between RM2,000 all the way sampai RM200,000. Last but not least, in the production cost pun ada marketing. Marketing pun ada banyak cost dia. Marketing, kena bayar orang tu buat graphic design, kena buat poster, lepas tu kena buat video, trailer macam mana, lepas tu nak kena buat content. All this semua duit kena keluar. So for that also kena ikut berapa banyak content dia nak buat, apakah quality content yang patut dibuat untuk satu event itu. Itu terpulang jugalah. It could be between RM500 if you're just doing satu poster macam tu je, and then you do your event, all the way up to if you buat sekali dengan trailer, dengan promonya, dengan ini, dengan itu, dengan shoot ini, dengan vlog itu, can go up to 100 to 200,000 juga. So banyak costing dia. We can only imagine kalau kita tengok dekat event yang besar dekat luar negara kan, kalau kita tengok dekat UFC is like golden standard untuk satu fight event, the UFC. If we look at the UFC, look at the promos. Look at the promo trailer, you look at the content, hyping up the event. So much of this cost a lot of money. But of course, that is the gold standard that a lot of us organizers are trying to get to. But maybe one day kalau ada cukup budget. Guys, sebelum kita tutupkan video ini, dekat Subang Parade Mall di Subang Jaya untuk event kita Fire Cage X Rage MMA, kita ada kickboxing dengan MMA sekali. So kalau you guys nak join, please head over to our Instagram, or you can sign up at our Linktree at linktree.com/southpawmy. Kalau you rasa you nak lawan MMA atau kickboxing, boleh register dekat sana. Thank you guys, enjoy the video. So kita dah cakap pasal venue, dah cakap pasal production. Next one, this one again subject to the type of fighters. Kita akan cakap pasal fighters first. Professional fighter, kalau pergi lawan, biasanya dia orang dapat satu upah, dia orang dapat duit, dapat bayaran lah atau gaji. Itu boleh katakan gaji lah kan. So gaji untuk fighter tu depend on organizer. Macam mana dia on deal, apakah dalam kontrak, apakah deal dia orang. Dekat MMA, at least macam mana kita buat kerja, biasanya kita ada show money and then win bonus. Lepas tu mungkin ada finish bonus juga. Maksudnya, okay, kalau you lawan dekat event I, kita akan bagi you mungkin RM1,000. RM1,000 untuk show up, RM1,000 lagi kalau you menang, RM1,000 lagi kalau you finish your opponent. Itu satu contoh. Ya, and depends. Mungkin other events boleh bagi you macam, I'm going to guess, I don't know the real numbers. Going to guess, mungkin Beyond akan bagi macam RM10,000. RM10,000 kalau you show up, RM10,000 kalau you menang, and then I tak tahu kalau dia orang ada finish bonus. But as far as I know, banyak old school Muay Thai events, they don't do win bonus. Dia orang cakap je, okay, you make weight, dah siap lawan, terus you layak untuk full payment. Menang kalah tak kisah, you dapat. Mungkin you deal dengan organizer cakap, okay, kalau you menang kalah tak kisah, RM5,000. Itu bagi. Tapi depends dengan organizer, macam mana fighter deal dengan promoter. So cost untuk fighter tu, it ranges between how popular the fighter is dengan how good is the fighter. Sebab kalau you popular tapi you're not a good fighter, depends. If you can turn over tickets, mungkin upah you lagi tinggi kot. But usually the days of just being a good fighter, I think is still can lah. Dalam zaman sekarang ni still can. We still pay attention to a lot of fighters who are great, and organisers are willing to pay a lot of money for these fighters. But of course nowadays it's all about making money. So organisers usually dia orang pun tengok the popularity of the fighter. So just how good you are, mungkin is not good enough. So you kena buat lebih, you kena buat content, you kena buat ni, you kena ada follower, you kena promise the organizer, okay, kalau you bagi I fight, I boleh turn over 100,000 tickets, something like that, atau 1,000, not 100,000 lah, but 1,000 ticket or something like that, you know, atau 50,000 buys on pay-per-view, something like that. Bukan 50,000 buys, mungkin you boleh guarantee kat organizer, okay, kalau I lawan nanti I ada this many fans akan datang tengok I dekat event, so tiket boleh jual banyak, atau pay-per-view nanti boleh jual tinggi. So terpulang kepada fighter. Kelebihan-kelebihan fighter tu is up to you, how you value yourself, but how you deal dengan organizer itu adalah satu cerita lain. Those are the 4 main categories lah of the cost untuk buat satu fight event: venue, production, marketing dengan fighter. But there are a lot of other costs juga. A lot of other costs that I would love to share with you adalah, pertama sekali, insurance. Not all insurance company akan cover full insurance untuk fighter, but I know dekat Malaysia nak dapat fight insurance memang impossible, especially as a professional. Fight insurance hanya diberi kepada amateur fighters who are not fighting for money, and only layak, if I'm not wrong, for sport macam Muay Thai, Taekwondo. I think amateur boxing layak juga, as long as they are competing and they are not fighting for money. So the moment they fight for money, insurance companies biasanya dia anggapkan fighter tu adalah seorang fighter professional, and ini adalah termasuk amateur fighter yang lawan untuk tournament. Yang lawan untuk tournament yang akan ada grand prize, biasanya insurance takkan cover penuh. Maksudnya whatever happens to you in the ring, you are not insured. Tetapi setiap organizer harus apply untuk something called personal accidents insurance at the bare minimum. So personal accidents insurance maksudnya anything that happens to you on that day of event, outside of the ring, anything happen to you, you injured, you terjatuh, you will be insured for that. But you have to check with the organizer if they do pay for insurance. That's another story for another video. The next cost that people forget is actually sanctioning fee. Let's talk about how sanctioning fees work in other countries. Dekat luar negara macam mana sanctioning fee ni berfungsi. So in the US, they have the Nevada State Athletic Commission. That one is usually any fights that happens in Vegas. They have to go through the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They don't charge sanctioning fee macam tu. They take a percentage of the ticket sales, 3 to 5% if I'm not wrong. That's how the Nevada State Athletic Commission works. However, I think if I'm not wrong, IBA does the same thing, but IBA doesn't do just ticket sales. They will do overall pay-per-view sales. That means ticket dengan online pay-per-view juga sekali, and they will take maybe about 5 to 10% if I'm not wrong for IBA or WBC. But in Malaysia, we don't do such a thing. Most sanctioning bodies, when it comes to sanctioning fees, diorang akan just blank, just a flat charge. Just a flat charge between 2,000 all the way up to 10,000 depending on the type of event you buat. Kalau you buat professional event and then you tengah melibatkan professional fighter, sanctioning fee dia memang akan tinggi lagi. Tapi terpulang kepada badan sanctioning yang diberi untuk event tersebut. So, kalau kickboxing, kena ikutlah apakah badan sanksi untuk kickboxing. Kalau Muay Thai, memang kena ikut perintah Persatuan Muay Thai Malaysia. Untuk MMA, kita ada Malaysian MMA Association. Boxing ada Persatuan Tinju Malaysia, and also untuk boxing ada Malaysian Professional Boxing Federation. Terpulang kepada any of these sanctioning bodies dengan sanctioning fee diorang. Next up, I love this one for last, but there is the mention of all the crew related workers of a fight event. Biasanya any any fight event nak buat, memang kena ada crew diorang, kena ada floor manager, you kena ada fight inspector, backstage inspector, ring atau cage inspector, and then of course most important out of all the crew members will be the medical team. That's up to the organizer whether dia orang nak 1 ambulance, 2 ambulance atau 3 ambulance. Kenapa satu event nak lebih daripada 1 ambulance? In an event kan, kalau satu fighter terpaksa dihantar ke emergency room into the ER, 2 ambulance kena standby. In case the next fight, kalau that fighter juga kena masuk ER, at least ada satu ambulance, at least ada another ambulance ready. So for fight event, 1 ambulance usually tak cukup. Usually need at least 2. But of course, kena ikut budget. What happens when a fight event hanya boleh mampu untuk 1 ambulance? Bila ada injury of a fighter and 1 ambulance dah deploy ke emergency room, event tak boleh dijalankan until the ambulance come back. Disebabkan in case kalau ada satu lagi fighter injured and terpaksa naik ambulance into the ER again, at least there is an ambulance on standby. Of course, a lot of us can always say, oh tapi kita boleh order Grab atau member boleh hantar macam tu. Of course, that is not the safe way to do things. Okay? Sebab if your friend sends you and then something worse happens to you because you are in a state of injury, so that is not a very responsible thing to do. But ambulance is actually part of the costing. And of course, this one depends on the organizer whether they take 1 or 2 or even 3 ambulances depending on the event. Okay? So that's about it guys. I'm pretty sure that is all the most important stuff yang I boleh cover untuk costing untuk satu event. But I hope you guys learn a lot from this video. My name is Daniel Chi. Thank you so much. Until the next one. I think I nak try buat more bahasa content. But we'll see how. If you guys enjoyed the bahasa content, please leave a comment down below. Suruh Dan cakap bahasa Melayu lebih sikit. Kalau bahasa I kekok sikit, sebab bahasa is my second language. But I try my best. Every day I speak bahasa. Okay? Thank you so much guys. See you.